Ooh. Brother. That was bad. Whoa. Whoa. Boy, we got something to talk about. Oh, boy. Let's talk. Must be a cold day in hell. Oh, oh man. All right. Let me just for one second. Let's just pause the music for a second. Let's stop the jokes for just a second. Let me just be completely clear to every Eagles fan and every Falcons fan in here. Philadelphia Eagles, congratulations. You won the game. Look forward to seeing more out of Hurts going forward. He looks like a real QB. But I just want to say to you Eagles fans, you just played against the Atlanta Falcons. So be careful about how much you celebrate, because that wasn't a real team that you just played. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to pile on, bro, but that's not a real team. But what did I tell you guys about a rebuild, though? What'd I tell you? And here we are. Back to the music again. Sheesh. What'd I tell you guys, though? I said, here's an offensive line that's nowhere near ready. This ain't it. And I'm not here to toot a horn. I'm here to tell you guys that this is a problem, and we should have addressed this problem earlier. Oh no, Madden. This is the rebuild. It ain't gonna happen later. This is it now. Why is Jalen Mayfield a right tackle playing left guard? Why? Can you answer that? I bet you can't. Because there's really no explanation as to why one of our other rookies who has more experience on the inside should be playing that position in Dahlman, who got an opportunity, by the way, but then was pulled for Mr. False Start / get absolutely slammed. I'm sorry. I can't. This is just you don't even have to think that hard to foresee this kind of stuff happen, right? You don't even have to think hard to be like, that's a bad idea. And it's just like, because Arthur Smith, I know he knows that this was already like, oh, this is bad. This is absolutely bad. If you're watching right now on Facebook, please come on over to twitch.tv/unintentional grounding or unintentional grounding on YouTube and come and join this comment section right here. You see these ladies and gentlemen in this chat right now going absolutely bananas. That, by the way, that's your cue on the Twitch and the YouTube side to go bananas. Go quick. Go bananas. The YouTube chat and the Twitch chat going absolutely bananas right now about this 32-6 loss by the Atlanta Falcons. And it puzzles me, man. Cuz I'm bananas in the chat. Thank you, Evan. Thank you so much. This is that stuff that we were talking about during the 2021 draft. And again, thank you all for joining right now. We got 34 people in here. Thank you to all the grounders who have joined in. I just want to give a quick shout out to the people that are in the chat. If you haven't already said hi, please by all means say hi. We got Taylor McPherson in the building. Blizz is in the building. We got Chris Edwards, the man, the myth, the legend in the building. Dexter's in the building. Falcons fan 408, good to see you. Woon Carter, Spain on the Twitch chat over there. Thank you so much for being in here. The MD20, thank you for being in the chat. Coolest Eva in the building. Madden is in the building on the Twitch side of things. Thank you so much for being here. Bubba Gump, has been a while since I've seen you, brother. Good to see you in the chat. Terrence Holmes in the building. Tamir in the building. Have I missed people? Curtis Roberts in the building. Charles Williams in the building. Russell Irving in the building. Yo, what's going on, y'all? Thank you so much for being in here, man. Thank you guys for being in here and showing the support. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Look, man, we said it during the 2021 NFL draft. We really did. And Terrence Holmes, thank you so much for that $2 dono. You were right. I'm sorry. I wanted to be hopeful. Crying emojis. Thank you for the $2 dono. We don't have the current widgets up for the YouTube, but we do have them up for the Twitch. So if there's any subs, follows, any donations or anything like that, all those emotes and things will come up from there, but I don't have the YouTube stuff. But thank you so much to Terrence Holmes for the $2, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the support. Look, bro, we said this during the 2021 NFL draft. You picked a luxury player, and I'm not putting this on Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is a great player. We saw a taste, just an absolute little drop on the tongue of what Kyle Pitts could be. But we could not get that going, and I don't know why they didn't want to push him more during this game. But we were talking about this during the 2021 NFL draft. We don't have the offensive line to supply for this team to be able to take on teams like Philadelphia, and next week, Tampa, and the week after that, and that, going against some of the bigger problem childs on defensive line. We don't have the offensive line to be able to stop that. And so, looking back at it now, yes, it's still early, but this is a bigger problem, getting completely blown out of the water by 32 points. You scored 6. You should have scored at least 20. Looking back at the first half of this game, we kept it close. And then we just kind of fell off the cliff. To all the peeps that are watching right now, thank you so much for viewing here. And please, I don't bite. Say hello in the chat. I'll say a hi back. I really appreciate you guys being here. Look, man. It wouldn't have been Justin Fields. It wouldn't have been Trey Lance. It wouldn't have been Kyle Pitts at this particular point. No matter who you pick and you put into that slot that we should have picked, it doesn't matter now. Now you have to work with what you got. And I'm looking at this offensive line and I'm saying Monday morning, Tuesday morning, they need to answer this question. Because if they continue to do this right now, and we can talk about conditioning all we want, Charles, which is if that's what he's saying right now, looking at this group right now, this ain't going to work. And it's going to get Matt Ryan hurt. He already got sacked 3 or 4 times today. 2 intentional grounding calls because he didn't have any time to throw this ball. I'm looking at this unit and I'm telling you right now, Stan Bruce, what's going on, my man? Good to see you. Rise up, stay grounded. I'm telling you guys right now, this offense is going to need to get addressed, and we're probably going to lose McGarry by the end of the year because we're not going to keep that contract. We're going to have to pay Lindstrom, unless they don't pay Lindstrom, which would blow my mind. I'm looking right now, we still got 16 weeks to go, and I'm already looking at the Falcons' offensive line and going, we need a left guard. We probably need center play the right tackle was, and they just really couldn't hold their own, man. They just really couldn't hold their own. Cordell Patterson, can I get a huge up in the chat for everybody? Can I get a rise up in the chat from all the Falcons fans in here for Cordell Patterson, who I didn't think was going to come out and run the way that he was running today. But Davis, Mike Davis and Cordell Patterson, if we continue to play off of that and we had scored, the confidence from those runners is ridiculous. I can only imagine what Wayne Gallman is going to be doing for this team. But Patterson looked amazing, man. He looked really, really good. And despite some of the hiccups that happened, primarily coming from the offensive line, Matt Ryan didn't look like he was really chucking the ball down the field like he has been. And you can see the decrease in Matt Ryan's arm power and what he's able to accomplish. He almost got picked 2 or 3 times today by underthrowing his receivers. I'm looking at this Falcons team and I'm telling you guys right now, we are in rebuild mode. No one can lie to me. Nice try, but no lie. This is a rebuild right now. They said it on television. We didn't think they had a chance, and it's true. They didn't have a chance. But we can't move Matt because of contract restrictions. We can't move Matt because we don't have the cap to be able to do it. And what team's going to take Matt Ryan at 30-something years old when most teams have either already drafted their guy from this past draft or currently have a starter right now that's good enough to play at Matt Ryan's level or better? I'm not saying Matt Ryan is the cause of the issue. I'm saying the offensive line is. But when you can't hit your guys in the flat, you can't hit your guys on the wheel routes, you're underthrowing and overthrowing your talent, if you want to call it talent, if you want to call it talent. Because that's actually the major issue here. I'll get into that in just a second. But when you can't hit your guys and you're under and overthrowing things, you didn't get any time to practice during the preseason really against any major NFL talent. You didn't play any preseason games, really, to be honest. This was treated like a preseason game, and of course you're going to get blown out. Of course you're going to get blown out. This should have been happening week 1, week 2, week 3 of preseason. But you didn't do that. You tested what you had for the backhand of the roster. Who cares what you have on the backhand of the roster if you can't be consistent on offense, defensively? Because I'm not even going to talk about the offense anymore. I don't need to talk about wide receivers. I don't need to talk about tight ends. I don't need to talk about running backs. I've already praised the running backs. I don't need to talk about anybody who is getting the ball thrown to them. If this offensive line can't block for Ryan, it doesn't matter. No criticisms to anybody else other than this offensive line, whether it's conditioning or not. That's not good enough to be able to win in the NFL. Sorry. And look, I'm not going to trash Jalen Mayfield either, but you're not it yet. I'm sorry. You're not it yet. Rebuild activated. Jay Nelson, what's going on? Or Neeson, what's going on, my man? Rise up, stay ground. I hope you're doing all right. And you are absolutely correct. Push the button. Click. It is time for rebuild mode, everybody. It's time for rebuild mode. It's time. It's time. It's time to admit it. It's time to admit that there's absolute ridiculous problem going on with this offensive line. It's been going on for a while now. They haven't been able to stack it on there. This new regime has been handed, and I'm not blaming the coaching staff either. Don't you guys get me misconstrued. This offensive of game plan should have won the game for the Atlanta Falcons. True facts. Absolute facts. But that offensive line ain't doing it. And this regime has been handed a turd sandwich to rebuild with, to win with, to win now with. That's winning now? That's it? No. And I told y'all, I'm not tooting my horn. I'm not trying to be like, big-headed. I just told y'all, this ain't it. This ain't it. This right here ain't it. And Blizz, actually, not to go, flying at you, but he did use play action. They just couldn't block for it. They tried to shoot the ball down the field twice on play action, and one of them ended up being intentional grounding. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's an issue. So, defensively, there's a lot of blue-collar guys on this squad, but they are undersized for the defensive line. I hate to be that guy, but where's that nose tackle I was asking for? Where's that? Hey, who in here said nose tackles don't matter? Out yourselves right now in this chat. I promise I won't come after you. I just want responsibility taken, okay? I want my fans and the people that follow my channel to be responsible for the things that they said. Where's my nose tackle? Who said nose tackles don't matter? Who said that Vita Vea ain't it? Somebody coming after me, bruh? Because they ran through us like butter. Just a turnstile. One ticket, please. Chick, chick. Boom, gone. So where's that nose tackle, right? I thought Tyler Davison was going to be just good enough. Huh? Who wants to give me shit? Who wants to come at me for going, yeah, the offensive line will be fine. We got Kyle Pitts, bro. Oh, we don't need a nose tackle. Come on, those are overrated. They don't matter. Well, actually, I'm gonna say one more thing. Running backs don't matter. Because Mike Davis and Cordell Patterson be out here running on them boys. And look. There's no way that those two, behind a bad offensive line, can run for over 100 yards. But everybody out here clamoring for why we cut Devontae Freeman, bro. I am going to say this, and I want y'all to understand, I'm not coming after anybody in my chat or in anybody else's chat. But don't tell me nose tackles don't matter. And don't tell me that we couldn't run with these boys. And oh, by the by, don't start this whole thing that I'm like going after Kyle Pitts either. Because Kyle Pitts was going to be the pick. Kyle Pitts was going to be the pick if it wasn't Trey Lance. That was it. They were sold on it. So I'm not going to be out here complaining. Okay? But I'm just going to make sure that everybody understands running backs don't matter. You can get them from anywhere. Nose tackles do matter. Yeah. Uh-huh. And Kyle Pitts is a fantastic pick if you're complementing things around him. Oh, that's right. We have no talent. We don't have it wasn't the coaching. We just don't have any talent. Where are all those Falcons fans saying that we're like one Julio Jones away from like killing everybody? Where are those fans at, bro? Where's the dudes and the dudettes that were telling me that like as long as Julio's here, we're gonna blow these guys out? You guys think that Julio Jones would have made a difference today? Where are the people that were like, oh, Kyle Pitts is going to replace that production. He's going to be better than Julio Jones. He'll be able to replace it. I'm looking at Five Guys Burgers and Fries sitting there on that offensive line, and I'm getting a mighty headache from looking at that, because as the game progressed, I started seeing Matt Ryan about to like die. It's not all gloom and doom though. It's not. The running game worked up until a certain point when it became obvious that we couldn't run anymore. But Mike Davis and Cordell Patterson looked good, especially when we were running the ball. And for funsies, Mayfield looked good in run block. He just didn't look good in pass block. In fact, actually, Dahlman and Mayfield were looking pretty decent in run block. The running game was legitimate. We were keeping the ball away from them. They couldn't actually keep the ball on the field. I mean, they were scoring really quickly, but we controlled the clock for what it was. Freeze the game when Matt is on the floor. It looks like a crime scene. Damn. Can we get some love to Evan Thompson in the chat, man? That was good. Oh yeah, Matt. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But we could turn this around. It's not all gloom and doom though. They barely tested AJ Terrell, which is good. We had some good play from Grady and from Dion, even though Dion got punked. Even though Grady was getting double teamed. Jacob Tauti Mariner JTM got a sack today. Why's my man Means playing at all? Bruh, there's so many people out there that were like, Steven Means is the better player and JTM doesn't need to be playing. He's not a starter. Y'all see that boy work for that sack? I did. He got it too. Means is average to above average, and he needs to be a backup. It's okay to look at it that way, but this is not the coaching staff's fault. No, because it's never been the coaching staff's fault. Dan Quinn. I don't think this has been a coaching problem. It's been a talent problem for a very long time. Since Mike Smith, it's been a talent problem. And we're finally there. We finally caught up to it. We finally caught up to the point where this team's just not talented. Now, right at this very moment. What are the good takeaways though that we can go into the Bucs game? That's going to be a blowout too. What are the good things that we can take away from this game that we can look forward and say that are positive? Run game. That worked. If we can get somebody honest at left guard, then we might actually be able to run the ball okay. I want to see more Pitts and less reliance on Calvin Ridley, because I feel like it's the same song and dance as when Julio was here. Is Matt Ryan over-dependent on his number one wide receiver? Uh-oh. But I digress. Defensively, we were bringing a lot of blitz packaging. It could have worked several times. It just hurts. Kind of just got away from it. And we're going to struggle against mobile quarterbacks. I believe it. Quarterbacks that get the ball out quickly or quarterbacks that are mobile, we are going to struggle against those quarterbacks. Run defense up the interior, we just don't have the nose tackle for it, and we're going to need to find a guy. Yeah, we're in a rebuild, man. I think if you are a smart fan, then you will go on Twitter right now and you will tweet at UNGR_show. This is a rebuild. Right now. On Twitter. Right now on Twitter, at me, UNGR_show. I think you're a smart fan if you tweet at me and say, this is a rebuild. This is 100% a rebuild. There's too much talent that's not here. Yeah, you thought I was going to say there's too much talent to fail. There's not. There's the talent right there. I got to be careful. If I touch it too hard, it'll break in half. Look. There it is. There's the talent right there. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it beautiful? Oh, shit! Oh, fuck, I dropped it. Hold on. No, this is so embarrassing. Oh, man. I broke it. Maybe I can put some glue on it. Where's my glue? Oh, shit. I don't have any glue either. Fuck, it's broken. Oh, man. Look, everybody. If you're following me and you knew what was up, then congrats to you. But this was tasteless. This was same old. I felt like I wasted my Sunday. And this is why I'm having a tough time making Falcons content, because this is just not. This is not it. This isn't it. It's nowhere near where it needs to be. We're missing a nose tackle. We're missing 34 outside linebackers that can actually take on tackles. We're missing true 34 linebackers, inside linebackers. Dion's cool and everything, but like, I don't know. Foye and Dion got absolutely land blasted. And we're just choosing the wrong areas, man. Corners couldn't cover. AJ was the only one that wasn't really tested. Did Richie Grant even play? I couldn't tell. We were just letting everything through. I couldn't tell whether or not he was playing or not. Offensively, we need another guard and probably another tackle, because I don't know about y'all, but like the left-hand side of the line looked like it was absolutely getting demolished. Running backs, we could definitely add another running back, but I don't think that's precedent and should be really drafted at all, really, to be honest with y'all. That's a luxury. As long as Pitts is here, drafting a running back is a luxury at this point. I'm not even going to begin this whole QB talk discussion. I don't think there's time for that. I don't think we should do that. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I'll tune in for the Tampa game outside of maybe tweeting about it. If I see it at a bar or something, we're going to get blown out again. Yeah, it's like, I mean, a lot can change in a week, but a week isn't going to fix this O-line. This needs talent, and we just don't have it. This is not a talented roster. This is I think this is just a bunch of trash cans full of dirt, and not in a good way. I think this is a very unathletic group. I think that Davis and Patterson were doing a lot of stuff on their own. I mean, the cutback blocks were the only thing that were saving. In fact, actually, I think the fullback, Keith Lee, it was Keith Lee, correct? Or Keith Smith? I think him and the 2 running backs that we had running today were probably the only offense that we had all day. And should have most likely gotten a touchdown, but we decided to throw multiple times, like Matt needs to throw a touchdown or something. This is a unit that's just not going to be able to make it. And I think halfway through this season, we're going to be looking at this Falcons team maybe a little bit differently than we're looking at it now. But unless they're going to take money and really invest in an offensive lineman that's in free agency, or somebody that they can plug in there to be a starter. And I'll say this again one more time in the chat for everybody who's just new or just coming in here. It doesn't matter whether we had drafted Pitts or a quarterback or anybody else. This offensive line was always going to be an issue, and it's always going to be a problem. And we need to direct our attention to the offensive line, and not towards Matt, not towards Kyle, not towards, the coaching staff. This is just not a talented team, and it was handed to a new regime that they're not going to be able to fix this in 1 year. This is a rebuild. They said it on television. They said it on television. Greg Olsen said it on television. This is a rebuild. This is a rebuild. Don't lie to yourselves. This is a rebuild. And I don't even think Sewell would have fixed this problem. They were sold on Pitts and they were sold on Lance, so there was no way that this was never going to be about that. Now they'll learn from their mistake, and now they'll have to figure out what they're going to do. Mayfield's got a lot to learn, and I don't want to disrespect Mayfield for the hard work and dedication that he put out today, but he's not ready, and he might be a good player later, but this is a right tackle that you put at left guard. This was never going to be a positive unless he was going to get multiple reps at that position. And similarly, I think you've got the Stanford kid? I can't think of his name right at this very moment, but you were switching him in and out with Mayfield early on, and then suddenly, I don't know if he got hurt. I don't know if they just decided this was the right play. Dahlman, thank you, Bangley. But it's like, you have Drew Dahlman and you've got Jalen Mayfield, and I just think you've put a guy in a position to fail, who's not familiar with this position as a whole, that was already kind of like sus to make the roster in that way. And you can't blame the coaches for this. You can't really blame the game plan for this, because we were doing right in the first half. In fact, actually all the way up to the third, we were doing right. And this is not on ownership. This is not on the coaches. This is not on the front office. You could hand this group of players, this roster, to any other group of talented front offices, and they wouldn't be able to make this work. This is an untalented team. And by the way, this is an inflated talent. This is an inflated talented team by the fans. The fans, they inflated how good these players are, and a lot of them have a lot of them are just past their prime, or too young, or are currently in positions that are not successful for them. So for everybody that's watching right now, for everybody that's listening, we're in a rebuild. I don't care if they say it or not to confirm it. We're in a rebuild, and any good, smart fan knows that we're in a rebuild. This is just not a talented team. I mean, Arthur Smith made adjustments throughout the game, and they still, from a talent perspective, just were not as talented as Philly is. And so this is a talent problem on the O-line first, but I think the rest of this talent, Ryan included, we're at the end of we're We're at the end of this Falcons era. We're at the end of this Falcons era. It ended when Dan Quinn was gone, when they fired Dan Quinn, and I think this era is over. And I think we're gonna the idea for people like myself after watching this draft happen was they don't know what this roster is and they're going to try to test it. So anyone saying that we need to evaluate it, it's already being evaluated. So, you know, I think we're already in an evaluation process. We just know that it's not talented and we're doing the best that we can to put the guys that we think are going to do the best at those positions. Or they are, not we, they. I would do it different. I would just do it different. So if you are a Matt Ryan fan, get your last couple looks at Ryan. Okay? Yeah, this era is ending. This era is ending. The Ryan era is ending. Or it has ended. Yeah. Majestic Gent, what's going on, my man? Rise up, stay ground. I hope you're doing well. Bangley, what was your theory on it? Let me see. I don't think he wanted to allow them to trade off Julio before the draft. I think the same thing happened with Freeman and Trufant, too. Well, I mean, I think the Ryan era ended in 2017, where they should have realized what was going on and go, okay, hold on 1 second. We got to come clean to the fans. This is not working, and it's trending down a bad path. But that's foresight, man. That's strategic foresight. You've got to be able to look into what's going on, see the trends that are happening, and make correct decisions. And I think there was a lot of decisions made from the past regime, not this regime, not Arthur Smith, not Terry Fontenot. They don't have any problems. They were doing their job. They made the best decisions that they can make with what they've been handed. They were handed a turd sandwich, and this is what they've got to come out with. This is what they've got. And there's no way that we get Deshaun, not with the Texans wanting 6 picks or players or a combination of. That's not happening. That is definitely, and we don't have the cap space to do it either. A team like Miami might, but we don't have it. We just don't. This front office inherited the problems from the last regime, and that is the biggest problem we have to date. Is that the sins of the previous front office have handed major issues to the current regime and the current front office, and that is now going to be a full year. That's gonna be a full year of feeling this. Matt Ryan didn't blow a 28-3 lead. Dan Quinn and company lost that game. They did. You want to blame somebody for the absolute loss? Blame the right person. It's Freeman. Freeman lost that whole thing for them. That shit. The coaching staff should have looked at that. But I'm not looking in the past anymore. I'm done with that. That era is over. I'm not talking about that anymore. We're concentrating on right now. Arthur Smith and company have been given a bad roster, and they're going to have to work through this for the next year. And to be honest with all of y'all, it starts with the offensive line, and it might take too long to get this offensive line to work because you've got Caleb McGarry on the last year or so of his contract. Lindstrom the same way. Somebody's going to have to pay somebody. Somebody's going to have to pay somebody in that group. Hennessy looked all right today, but was getting pushed around. Mayfield and Dahlman, I don't know what you're going to do with that group. That's not good enough. And then Jake Matthews is at the tail end of his contract as well. This offensive line is going to need an injection of talent. And I know a lot of people are going to go, I can't imagine taking another offensive lineman in the first round. We might have to do that. After that, We've got 16 more weeks, and if we lose another 5-6 games, the writing will pretty much be on the wall. So I am currently, this is just me, early on, way too early to be making this prediction, but I believe it's gonna need to be right tackle, or it's gonna need to be a guard. So start looking now for prospects in that area, because those things need to be addressed before we talk about defense, before we talk about quarterbacks, before we talk about weapons, before we talk about scheme. This is not a talented roster, and it starts with the offensive line, and if we can't block, this is going to be a long year. Oh, well, we'll run Matt Ryan right out of town that way. But I've said too much. I've already gone on my rant. Already said what I had to say. Yep, Steele, you're absolutely correct. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you, man. It's really good to see you, Steele. Simply put, if you don't win in trenches, you lose the game. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that concludes my my show. Was there anything that I didn't cover? Mr. Beasley with the 199 in the super chat. It's about to be a long season, you guys. Sad face. Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. So, anything that we didn't cover? Anything that we didn't get to? Anything that you guys want to discuss before we go off air? Because I'm hungry. And then I might watch some film after I get some food on twitch.tv/unintentional grounding tonight. I'll let you guys know on Twitter whether or not I'm going to go live or not. So make sure that you guys follow me on Twitter at @UNGR_show. I'm probably going to be looking at some offensive linemen as well as maybe some defensive players. What do you think about the Bucks next week? Or did I miss that? Gent, if we played this way against this Eagles defense, then I cannot imagine a much more talented, much more robust defense in Tampa letting us get away with anything. I don't even know if we'll come away with field goals. Ronnie Perkins from Oklahoma, I have not yet, Steele. I'm just starting out some of my watches. I'm just getting on to some of the talent now. Just to let everybody in the chat know right now who are watching from Twitch or from watching from Facebook or are watching on YouTube right now, I just got into some of the talent for the 2022 draft. So ride with me here. Be with me, because we're going to do all of that on Twitch. I can't do it on YouTube just for the plain reason that YouTube will copyright me. But this Bucks team is a much stingier, much more accomplished defense, and they had quite a few points put on them by the Cowboys. So the Cowboys and Bucks games are looking bad. Levi Lewis, we'll have to check that out. Another top 5 pick in the draft this year. It's too early to say. That's why I don't want to start really taking a mad look at players. But I definitely do want to say that if this is the trend, and we lose over the next 4 or 5 weeks, we've got a bye week in there. But over the next 4 or 5 weeks, we have only won 1 game or 2 games. I think we'll be a top 10 pick, but it's still too early, man. King Jaffa Joe, what's going on, my man? I love Matt Ryan, too. I just don't like the offensive line that's in front of him. We aren't watching Levi Lewis again, Dan. Probably not. I do like Ritter. I really do like Ritter, and I like the kid Malik Willis. But I don't. Again, we're talking about first-round QBs, and I don't know if the Falcons are going to take that shot. I mean, it's still too early to know what position we're in. But as we start trending up and down, I'll have a little more of a good idea of where we're going to be going. Probably about halfway through the year. So what is that, week 9? Week 9, week 10. That's when you'll really start seeing ramped-up style picks. But I'm currently not looking at any particular prospect as, oh, that's the guy that we're going to go after kind of deal. So that's where we're at, man. That is where we are at. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I hope you guys enjoyed the laughs. Falcons lose 32 or 36 or however many points they scored on us. 32-6. Yeah. Dan, I remember when you were pissed about us drafting a tight end on draft night. I need that same energy from you. I love this team so much that you convinced yourself to like the idea of Kyle Pitts. I haven't convinced myself of anything. I want to be deathly clear from all of y'all, to all of y'all, and from all of y'all's points of view. I don't like the Kyle Pitts pick. I understand what it can do for this organization, but if this offensive line is going to be bad, then the reality of the situation then becomes it doesn't matter if Pitts is here or if we had gotten Fields or Lance or Zach Wilson or any of these other guys, Trevor Lawrence. If we had gotten any of these dudes, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Pitts did some interesting things today, but Matt Ryan couldn't hit him. Penalties destroyed our ability to be able to move the ball. So Kyle Pitts, I won't have a real good fit of Kyle Pitts until our offense starts moving. And if our offense can't move, then yeah, this is where we're at. This is where we're going to be. And it'll feel wasted, but that won't mean that it will show us anything about Kyle Pitts. If Kyle Pitts starts dropping balls everywhere, well, then we, you know. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the pick. Hating is a strong word. Disliking the pick is completely different. On top of that, it just didn't make any sense what we were trying to do. But, talk about, hindsight 2020 and we got rid of, Julio Jones. It makes sense, but it doesn't change the production. It didn't change what the Eagles were doing. Isaiah Oliver did play decently. Again, my game ball goes to Cordell Patterson and Mike Davis. They can share the game ball. They played their hearts out, man, and they ran the ball very, very heavily. They ran it tough, physical. So I'm gonna give the game ball to those boys. They worked their asses off and did a great job. Also, how many times was AJ Terrell targeted? Dan, we could easily start 0-4. We could easily be 0-8. They did. Mike Davis and CP played amazing. And it, again, just proves running backs don't matter. You just need guys that are hungry. You just need dudes that are hungry. I like how Gainwell absolutely murdered us. The Memphis running back murdered us. Took us straight to school. Yeah. We need a nose tackle. We need a left guard. Running backs don't matter. How many times was AJ Terrell targeted? I don't know. Yeah, still a question mark. We don't know anything about that. Monroe, whatever his name is. Zang, that's so negative, bro. That is incredibly negative. Gainwell did show off. Absolutely. Yep. I just we don't have big mollies on the line. We were rushing 3 again. We were playing a 34. We did it again. I predicted something else that the Falcons were going to do. We're playing a 34 and we have 3 down linemen. We are kind of playing a multiple, but when we have the multiple out, we don't have the edges to make it work. So our 43 doesn't work. and we don't have big men that can move guys in the interior for the 34. So it's just like the pass rush never gets there, no matter what we do. We just don't have the rushers. I wouldn't even draft Thibodeau. Yeah, that's right. I said it. I wouldn't even draft Thibodeau from Oregon to fix this problem, because that's not going to fix the problem. But you know that one defensive tackle from the University of Georgia, the nose tackle guy that's there. What's his name? Davis, I think. I think his name's Davis. Something Davis. Yeah. Still thinking about that. Jordan Davis. If that's the guy. I agree, Bangley. I agree, Bangley. Rise up and stay grounded, y'all. I will see you guys when the All 22 film drops. And possibly tonight after I get some food. Possibly tonight after I get some food. Rise up. Stay grounded. Take it easy. And I will talk to you guys again real soon. Peace. Hair grease. And all the good things that go with it.